Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Roger Adelson with your Super Bowl edition. We will review some of the top Seahawks and Super Bowl stories for this week and a few of your favorites. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center.
And here in the weather department, we're looking at a very tranquil weather pattern. Lots of sun finally coming back, but it's just going to be cold.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
By now, everyone knows the Seattle Seahawks are making their second Super Bowl appearance on the Sunday to face off the Denver Broncos. It is hard to think about the Seahawks in Ephrata without thinking about the superfan working at the post office. Reporter Jeff Chu took time to interview Margie Wick about why she loves the Hawks.
It's a special season for Grant County's Seattle Seahawks superfan Margie Wick. The Seahawks are headed to the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos this Sunday after recently winning the National Football Conference Championship against the San Francisco 49ers. Margie and her husband Phil witnessed that game and every Seahawks game over the past 13 seasons. You can find Margie's glowing Seahawks green and blue hairdo and her wall of memorabilia behind the customer counter at Ephrata's post office. She has worked more than 10 years in the Ephrata post office, with previous stints in Soap Lake and Moses Lake. Margie is known in Seahawks fandom as Sprinkler, a rainbird she wears on her head. It is a reference to a Miami Dolphins game in which the field sprinkler system went off during a Seahawks drive. Margie said she will be a Seahawks superfan for the rest of her life.
I've been a diehard since the first day. I was actually a Raiders fan before we had a team, so I've been watching football since I was about 5. And when we got the Seahawks, I've just been diehard. Once my kids got old enough to where they could be on their own, then I finally got season tickets. It's a vacation for me. I don't go anywhere else. We do football all year, really.
Margie has Seahawks season tickets with her husband Phil, and together they have fun getting into colorful character for the games. That includes face paint they and other Seahawks fans put on each other during the pregame tailgate parties. She says it's like going home to family each season because Margie shares such a close bond with Seattle fans. The Seahawks will see their second Super Bowl game in the team's history. Margie said she had a strong feeling at the beginning of the season that the team would go all the way. She believes the team's success can largely be pinned on the leadership of quarterback Russell Wilson.
I knew at the beginning of the year, just from being around Russell last year, and it's like I knew we were going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I did the first time in 2005. I knew we were going to go to the Super Bowl. So everybody says, "Oh, I hope you're right. I hope you're right."
Margie said she and Phil will watch the Super Bowl game from their Seahawks green and blue home. She said tickets to the game this Sunday at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey were just too far out of reach.
Unfortunately, we didn't get drawn in the lottery, and Margie has a new motor in her Jeep, so she can't afford to go. I know our tickets, had we gotten drawn, they were around about $800 a piece.
She's been on the field with other fans, meeting players and their family members. Here's a selfie Margie took of her with star Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman's mother, Beverly. Ephrata Postmaster Jeff Miller is 100% behind Margie's love of the Seahawks.
It's awesome. The community's around her. Everyone knows her as a Seahawks fan. It's great.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
In Moses Lake, a student at Frontier Middle School received a special gift, one that shows how a Seattle Seahawk can inspire others.
We have this student at Chief Mo who's not only an excellent student, hearing impaired, but he is fierce on the football field. So we found out that we have our own Derek Coleman here in the building. So Victor.
Inspired by Derek Coleman's commercial with Duracell, a group of teachers at Chief Moses Middle School raised money to buy a number 40 jersey for Victor Mendoza, a hearing-impaired student who currently plays football as a wide receiver.
I think that Victor, when he initially came to Chief Mo, he was very, he was embarrassed by his hearing disability, and he often would put his hands over his head and not want other kids to see his hearing aids, and wouldn't wear them. And so about 3 weeks ago, I showed him the Derek Coleman commercial, and he was very inspired, and he has no, he wears those hearing aids with pride now.
They were doing a fundraiser, and before I knew it, the goal of the money that was needed was met right away, and they did order it online, and it was a good surprise for him.
For Victor, I hope that he can embrace his disability and not see it as a setback. There's no excuses, as Derek Coleman would say, and yeah, you keep going, no matter what anybody tells you.
We asked the faculty and Mendoza what they had to say about the upcoming Super Bowl game.
I just wish you Seahawks luck. My parents are big time fans, and I'd love to see them watch them win the Super Bowl. It's their ultimate dream and part of mine too.
Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
Go Hawks!
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Vivian Huang.
Thank you, Vivian.
Good food, cold beer, and plenty of entertainment. That's what Sporty Steakhouse is all about. Open 6 a.m. every day. We offer over 100 reasonably priced menu items with 24 different ice-cold beers on tap and a wide variety of spirits. Come in with your favorite group, watch the game on our big screen TV, shoot pool, play shuffleboard, and more. We have live music and DJs, so find us on Facebook for upcoming events. Located on East Broadway Avenue in Moses Lake. Sporty Steakhouse, where good friends meet.
Did you know that Little Chiefs Childcare is expanding their Juniper Street location? This great new place across from Moses Lake Clinic is designed just for preschool and school-aged children. For over 8 years, Little Chiefs kids like me have found the love and attention every child needs to be healthy and happy. The grown-ups there have gone to college, so they know how to make sure kids from 1 month to 12 years old have a great place to learn and play. Come join our growing Little Chiefs tribe.
And hi there, everybody. Meteorologist Don Morello with you here on iFIBER Channel 1 News. Hope you enjoyed your Friday. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Now, the headlines here calls for finally more sun than clouds. Now, the past couple of weeks, many of us had a lot of gray days. We had that, I don't know how many days in a row, the fog and freezing fog. But cooler, drier air is coming on in. Not cooler, colder, drier air. But the weekend looking nice, but cold. First weekend of February, a new month starting, but cold. And then we go into the second week of February and weekend of February, and you guessed it, it's going to be cold. Really no storm to talk about. It's rather boring here in the weather department, but I'll try to excite you about the weather like I always am. 32 and 29 degrees extremes today. We had a little light flurry activity overnight last night. 32 was actually between midnight and 1 a.m., and we tried to get above freezing with this colder, drier air coming on in, and some of us did get to 33, 34. 31 in Moses Lake, 29 degrees. Again, a few flurries around overnight last night. So again, looking pretty cold out there. Temperatures already into the upper 20s right now. We'll cool it down to the lower 20s, if not teens in many areas by morning. As a cold front comes on in with those northerly breezes, drier air is coming on in. And as we put it into motion during the weekend, you'll see that we have no major storm. All these little dots there are pretty much just an isolated mountain type precipitation. There's really no sort of energy to get anything organized into a big precipitation event. However, late in the period, there is a system dropping out of central Canada that's trying to back into the northern Rockies. So moisture sort of gathers here, but it's going to find a tough time to get across the Rockies into our vicinity, and I don't think it will. As far as the specifics, a statewide forecast, not too bad. Statewide, Port Angeles, 40 degrees, a little chillier than normal. Look at the inland northwest, mid-20s and sunshine. Oh, that's nice. Here in the Columbia Basin, again, pick out your city. Looking at these temperatures, you can actually just Flip that title from Saturday to Sunday, and even that to Monday. And pretty much no changes. As you can see, temperatures generally into the 20s for highs, with plenty of sunshine, actually. A very, very nice first day of February coming our way. So taking a look at the forecast, you can see right off no major changes, and the big word of the day, cold. Quiet, dry, and cold weather right through the period. 25 tomorrow, 30 on Groundhog Day, and then as we slide through the rest of the work week, single digits and teens for morning lows, so very chilly mornings. The afternoons not much better, upper 20s to lower 30s. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope you have some nice plans for you. Mother Nature should treat you well. Keep it here on iFIBER Channel 1 News. Sports is next.
It's a fact. Toyota offers 10 different vehicles with available 4- or all-wheel drive. So when roads are a challenge, we have your answer with great limited-time savings, including the best-selling RAV4. Right now with APR financing as low as 0%. Or go for the larger Highlander with $1,000 cash back. Or the same 0% APR. Both ready to take you down winter's toughest roads. Discover Toyota's 4- and all-wheel drives for yourself. Visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Ready for some classy, laid-back fun? Imbibe in Moses Lake is the place for you. Imbibe has a huge selection of your favorite wine and beer on tap from local brewers. We have kegs to go, and we can fill your growler. Remember that summertime is beer time. Come enjoy our live music on Fridays and make sure to reserve a spot for private parties. What are you waiting for? This is the place to enjoy your favorite drinks with your favorite people. Find us on 3rd Avenue in Moses Lake, Washington, or call us at 509-765-1119.
Thousands of Seahawk fans gathered in Seattle last week to give the team a Super Bowl send-off. Fans lined a mile-long route through the city as the team left for New Jersey for this weekend's big game. Waving flags and wearing Seahawk colors, they shouted and applauded as the team rolled by. The Seahawks take on the Denver Broncos on Sunday in Super Bowl 48 at MetLife Stadium. This is the second Super Bowl game for the Seahawks.
I mean, do you believe in second chances or what?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I was around when the NBA title was won, so I've been waiting a long time for another championship. So second time around, I think everybody's more excited this time than the first time because we know how hard it is to get here. So I think it's our year.
How tough was the last Super Bowl?
Oh, it was tough. I was in Las Vegas, and we were outnumbered, Seahawk fans to Steeler fans, about 10-1. So walking the street after the game was pretty rough. But every once in a while, a pretty girl in a Steeler jersey come up and give you a hug and say, "I bet you need one." You know, yeah, we sure do. But we'll get over it, and we'll get this one.
Yeah, describe the atmosphere right now?
Oh, this is crazy. I live a block away, so it's nice and convenient for me. But it's just terrific to see all the people come out and do this. It's going to be a great time.
Go Hawks! We'll be right back after this.
Doc, your 1 o'clock's here, but our network is down. What do you want me to do?
I just noticed. Call JL Computers. He's probably already on it.
Computer systems and networks are not only vital to doing business, they are often the key to efficiency and profitability. At JL Computers, we offer continuous monitoring of your system and provide immediate support when something goes wrong. Call today and talk to our certified technicians about your needs.
Call us crazy, but we like to think a clean car runs a little better. Increase the value of your truck, car, boat, or RV at Avila Detailing in Moses Lake by giving it that special look you've been waiting for. Beat the heat with tinted windows. Let us shampoo or reupholster the inside of your ride. You've put in a lot of miles this summer. Isn't it about time for a tune-up? And keep in mind that we offer free pickup and drop-off. Like us on Facebook for our weekly specials. Avila Detailing in Moses Lake. Give your ride what it deserves.
Even Boeing is celebrating the Seahawks' achievements with a specially designed 747. The company rolled out the plane in Everett Wednesday afternoon. The 747-8 is owned by Boeing and features the distinctive Seahawks logo and a 12 on the tail to salute the team's fans. The airplane took off from Payne Field Thursday morning, made a stop at Boeing Field, and then continued on to Eastern Washington, where it flew in a specific pattern. The plane, dubbed the Spirit of the 12s, flew in a giant 12 pattern before returning to Everett. It appears some people will try anything to get an idea of who will win the Super Bowl. Some leave it to animals to make the call. One zoo placed 2 banners, one for each team, and let the panda loose. The problem is what the panda does leaves room for interpretation as to what the team he selected. Does he pick the team by pulling down the banner or leaving it up? As he pulls down the Broncos banner and mauls it, we are going to see this as he is choosing the Seattle Seahawks. He left their banner up to enjoy rather than tear it down and shred it. We saw the impact on hearing-impaired student in Moses Lake. Now let's take a look at the Seahawks inspiring him.
All athletes who make it to the Super Bowl have overcome obstacles. But Derek Coleman, fullback for the Seattle Seahawks, has a unique one. He's legally deaf.
I don't let my hearing be an excuse. I'll find a different excuse that not even associated with my hearing regardless. I'll make up something like, oh, I wasn't focused or something before I use my hearing, mainly because I don't want people to get that perception of me.
Coleman wears 2 hearing aids.
I can hear the quarterback when he actually is saying, I can actually hear it. But when it starts getting loud or when it's a lot of background noise, because that's what basically the hearing aid is. The hearing aid is basically an amplifier, a microphone. So it absorbs everything. So, but that's when I go into my lip reading phase. The quarterback knows to look at me whenever he's saying something important or if he turned around in the middle of the huddle.
He's the only deaf player currently playing in the NFL and the first to play offense. The Seahawks coach, Pete Carroll, says Coleman's hearing impairment has never gotten in the way of his play on the field.
First off, he's a terrific football player. He's very well-rounded. He plays special teams. He can play. He started 4 games at fullback. He's been very consistent, very tough. He happens to have an issue, a hearing issue. That has never been a factor. And he has demonstrated to anybody that wants to listen or watch that you can do whatever you want to do, with the concerns that he has.
Duracell, the battery company, put Coleman in a commercial earlier this month.
I was picked on and picked last.
It's gotten over 12 million views on YouTube.
Derek Coleman. And now I'm here with the loudest fans in the NFL cheering me on. And I can hear them all.
As for this weekend's game against the Denver Broncos, Coleman says he and the rest of the team are going to treat it just like any other postseason game.
Gonna be a lot of emotion going around, but once those settle, we're basically playing football again.
Instead of thinking about hearing loss, he'll be focused on creating holes for Marshawn Lynch to score touchdowns. Ted Shaffrey, Associated Press, Hoboken, New Jersey.
We'll be right back after this.
Well, one thing I knew from being a patient myself was that a dental office is a scary place to come to. And so we wanted everything possible to make sure that our office is a comfortable place for our patients to visit. The patients that I have, my clients, have made me a part of this community, and we want to give back in every way possible.
6 years ago, my dad began having issues with headaches, sore throats, and constant fatigue. He tried treating the problem with over-the-counter medications and lots of caffeine. Finally, he talked to his doctor who confirmed our suspicions. Dad had sleep apnea. He didn't like the idea of using a CPAP, but after trying it one night, he was convinced. We found everything he needs for a much better quality of life at InHome Medical.
You can admit it, sports fans. Some of you watch the Super Bowl as much for the ads as for the game.
So they're coming.
It could be the most expensive 30 seconds in sports, and maybe in all of business. It's go time. Super Bowl ads sold out for weeks, some hitting a record $4.5 million a pop this year for just 30 seconds of TV time. But the number of eyeballs, that's what's priceless to advertisers. More than 100 million viewers have tuned in for each of the past 4 years. Compare that to 40 million for the Oscars, 28 million for the Grammys, about 15 million for last year's World Series.
The Super Bowl is one of the very few television shows where you still get a lot of reach. You get people from all different walks of life and with all different preferences watching it.
But are millions of viewers worth millions of dollars for just a few precious seconds? Market research firm Communicus finds recently only 1 in 5 Super Bowl ads actually motivates consumers to buy anything. Nobody but me. But sales aren't the only goal for advertisers.
It's also kind of a great sort of badge to have. You know, we were in the Super Bowl last year. That's how big our brand is. And a lot of advertising is about self-congratulation as well.
43 advertisers bought ads this year, ranging from the standard 30-second spot to 2 minutes. Some of the big spenders include Anheuser-Busch, Butterfinger, Doritos, GoDaddy, Jaguar, Dannon, Wonderful Pistachios, and General Motors, jumping back in the game after a brief hiatus in 2013. The big trend this year, teaser ads.
Don't you think it'd be nice to try something new?
They help companies build hype.
Surprise.
And give fans a heads up on what to watch for. Much of it driven through social media, which brings more buzz and gives advertisers a lot more than one little spot on TV.
Don't you think it's time we all get our own places?
Super Bowl advertising becoming a game of its own, star players, millions of dollars on the line, and an audience who likes to play favorites.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.